I don't know if you can see. Can you see my
Beautiful.
wing earring?
Oh my goodness. I'm so jealous. They're beautiful. Oh, they're so you.
We just make each other more fabulous.
We do. We do.
Hello, welcome. This is another edition of Star Authority TV, where you learn the secrets to amplify your star power and become the authority in your industry. My name is Andrea Albright. I am the CEO of Beverly Hills Publishing, and I'm also a visionary entrepreneur. I created this term, star authority, because I see when people have the power to attract an audience, but they don't have the credibility to really become a thought leader. And then on the other extreme, there are people who have earned their reputation as an authority, maybe having a PhD or some kind of academic or scholastic credibility, but yet they're missing that pizzazz. And so we want you to be both a star and the authority so that you get the attention you are meant to get and you make the impact that you want to make. Today, I have an incredible guest. I could go on and on about this woman, her brilliance, her heart, and her soul has impacted my life in tremendous ways. She is the perfect example of a true star authority. Welcome, Kathryn Porritt. It's so nice to have you here, Kathryn.
I am beyond thrilled to be here, Andrea. Thank you so much for welcoming me to your show. This is such an important piece of subject matter, and to be speaking about this with you is just, I think we're going to have a lot of fun today, and we're going to talk about some things that will really inspire people. So I'm very excited.
Yes, we are bubbling at the seams with excitement, and we're going to be sharing a lot of actionable content for you to take into your life, your business, your brand, and your message. Before we start giving advice, I have a question for you, Kathryn. What is your definition of a star authority?
That is such a great question, Andrea. I've been thinking about this quite a lot recently because I've been spending quite a lot of time with you and with some other really extraordinary entrepreneurs who have exquisite visions that are just, groundbreaking and pioneering and so life-changing for so many people. And to me, the thing that creates star power and star authority is connecting internally to what I call an inner knowing. So there's, what what you are truly meant to be here for. That's a hard thing to connect to. There's something kind of buzzing and pulling inside of you, and that you're meant for something. It's more than passion. It's more than there's something that you're truly, truly meant to bring to life in your lifetime and create what I call a disruptive legacy. There's this inner knowing, there's this pull, there's this powerful energy within you, and it's connecting into that and then allowing that to manifest in whatever way you can, but the most powerful, most brave way. And for my clients and for the people that I've worked with, and for many, many other people who are, who have created that star authority, that can manifest in so many different ways, and everyone's journey is incredibly different. And so I don't think, to me, the definition is, it's not wishy-washy. It's just that it is your own story. It's connecting into it and bravely bringing that to the surface so that it manifests in the biggest way possible. That's what I would define it as. And I'm excited to talk to you more about that today.
Amazing. Fantastic answer. And we're going to go into your background as branding, marketing genius extraordinaire that you are. But before we go into that, why do you think that more people are wanting to share their true and authentic voice with the world today? Maybe more than ever. Do you agree that there's some kind of an uprising or a calling with this desire to really tap into what you said, that inner knowing, and express your true, authentic self?
I absolutely do. And I think I have just finished reading your book. And I think one of the big takeaways from it for me was that the right now, in this moment in time, there is no doubt, I think, in anyone's mind that we're on the precipice of something truly momentous. That momentous shift can either be, terrifying, or you can see it as an opportunity, and it can be an extraordinary opportunity where we get to shift the world to a greater place. And I know you believe that, and having read your book, that entrepreneurs are the ones to lead that. They're the ones who have the creativity, the innovation. They've got the answers to creating that momentous shift towards a much more positive place, a better world. And that to me is what this is all about. This is why it's so important. It's so important that, at the moment, if you've got that inner knowing, if you're feeling that pull, there has never been a better time. It's never been easier to get your message out to the market if you have really great foundations and a really great strategy. The internet, the world is so interconnected. Even the fact that we're, right in this moment in time, a lot of people are stuck in their homes. There's never been a better time to create a global business, which is so ironic. We're stuck in these little, stuck in our own homes, but there's never been a better time to have a global business, have a global impact, and create something extraordinary. So get on the mission and do it. And I know you're a big believer in that as well.
That's a phenomenal answer. And, speaking of global impact and global relationships, I'd love to tell the story of how we got connected. And you would think that it would be some random coincidence, but I have had enough magical, mystical, supernatural, some would even say divine connections in my life to recognize them when they show up. And you are in Australia. I am in Beverly Hills. So pretty much opposite ends of the planet. However, we found each other. We connected to one another. And I'll never forget that day that you filled out the application on my website at Beverly Hills Publishing, and you were interested in publishing a book, and you were looking for a publisher who got you and who could support you in your bigger legacy and creating a bigger mission. And that was just the beginning. So today you are a publishing client. You've now become my branding and marketing partner. You are the brains behind this YouTube channel launch, and so many other magnetic, amazing things were created for my brand. And I also consider you a dear friend and kindred spirit. So would you agree that when you're on your purpose and your mission of radiating your star authority, that the right people show up?
I 100% believe that. And I feel much the same way about you. I just can't imagine my life without you in it now. We speak multiple times a week, whether it's, in various different ways. And you are so amazing at what you do, and this mission that you're on is incredible. And I'm so proud and excited to be a part of that with you, and that you're helping me to create, to really pull my mission through as well. The thing that my favorite word in the world is serendipity. I think it's just the word feels right. It sounds right. I love saying it. It has such beautiful meaning. And I do feel very strongly that, it was this serendipitous moment where I've been thinking for such a long time about, I really need to get this message out to the market, but I want to do it in a way where I've got control of it, because I had been published traditionally previously. So I was looking for someone who I felt had the same sort of, the power and the business acumen that I have, so that we could create something pretty extraordinary together. And when I found you, absolutely, we were fully in alignment from the first time we ever spoke to one another. I felt like, we were kindred spirits and we were meant to be together. And there's no two ways about it. The universe intervened, and in this beautiful serendipitous moment, we got together. And I find this with my clients all the time too, Andrea, and I know you've experienced this with your own business as well. If you can connect to the vision, particularly if you can expand the vision of yourself or have someone help you to be able to expand that vision, once you connect to that, it's amazing the miracles that start happening. It's amazing. I mean, I have a lot of clients who come to me and say, I want to work with, XYZ celebrity. And oftentimes I'm the first person who doesn't go, oh, come on, really? I'm the first person who will say to them, absolutely. All right, let's figure out a way to make that happen. I think that I'm probably one of the most brave marketing people on the planet, and my clients choose me for that reason, because we don't say no to very much. If the person's extraordinary, we'll figure out a way to make it happen. And the way that you do that is, yes, there's some practical steps, but the biggest part of that is the connectedness to the vision, because miracles happen. Once you're connected to that vision, you have utmost confidence in your ability to make that happen. It's extraordinary what happens. It really is.
I am living proof that the miracles and being in awe of what shows up. I mean, just this week, I haven't even launched my book yet. The book is about to come out. We sent out some pre-release copies of the book, and already you have gotten me an interview with Forbes and Entrepreneur, my two biggest publications that I wanted to be represented by. And already it's like, before the book has even come out. I mean, that is truly mind-boggling. And if you were to think about it, you would think, wow, that's not possible. And yet here we are. And I will say that you have stretched my own ability to see the vision and to dream bigger. And it's amazing how you not only have the power of vision and creativity, but you're also very grounded in practical science, data, marketing, business, logic. And it's so rare to find those two qualities. And so I believe that's why we've had so much impact so fast, is because the strategy, the follow through, the website, all of the data, the nuts and bolts are there. We're not just saying, okay, let me sit in a corner and hope that this shows up. I mean, we are building it and we are making the most of it. And would you agree that when you have the vision and you hold the vision, and then you also prepare for the vision, meaning that you do the work, you do what's necessary to make it happen, that it is that combination that is why we get the results that we're getting so quickly?
Absolutely. I say to all of my clients that there's really 3 steps to true greatness, and they're pretty simple. They're really, really simple. I like simplicity. I'm an older entrepreneur now, and I don't want to muck around anymore. If I'm going to choose to spend time with someone, I want to get great results, and I don't want to what I say, faff around. watching our, navel gazing, thinking about the future. We want to get the results. So the three steps for me are very much what you just spoke about. The first one is the connectedness to vision. So that's having an extraordinary strategy. It's very hard to do, but that's something that we particularly specialize in. I know you do with your publishing clients as well. There's some really great, amazing, big thinking strategists. So number one, get a fantastic strategy. Number two, after you've got that strategy, have utmost confidence in your ability to deliver that. And even if you've got to fake a little bit of it, which you probably are going to have to at some points, because we all get the wobbles. Even I get the wobbles, all of us do. Even if you have to fake that a little bit, have full integrity. So if you've promised something to someone, follow through. Never be that charlatan that, never sell snake oil, just absolute, no smoke and mirrors. Have absolute integrity. And then the third piece is get in action. Imperfect action. I can't tell you how many of my clients have been so nervous to really see their big vision come to fruition, and they're terrified of getting out there. And I think you and I coined that phrase of the cage of excellence when we were putting together my book. And the thing that's going on with that is really brilliant people get so scared of seeing because it's so important to them, seeing this dream come to life, that they're terrified of all the implications of that, whether it what if they get famous, or what if someone picks on them, or what if someone, puts them down, or all of that's probably going to happen. Another one of all my clients hear me say this all the time: your ambition needs to be bigger than your ego. What I mean by that is the mission has got to be so big and so important that you will get in action, and it doesn't matter what anyone else says to you. You've got to have your eye on the prize. So getting in action, it's incredible what happens. That's okay. We leave them behind. But what's going to happen is once you start getting in action, you're going to validate your concept. Suddenly the world is full of possibilities, and you'll be opened up to the extraordinary opportunities that I know are there for you. So I'm fully in agreement. If you follow those three steps, I have not seen anyone not succeed following those three steps.
It's amazing. And the clarity, the simplicity, and the step-by-step system is why I love that brilliant mind of yours. And I would say again that I am receiving this and I am experiencing this firsthand. And another thing that you have really stretched me is this idea of going to the luxury end of the market. And you have genius concepts and ideas around it. And before really getting into your content and getting into your philosophy, having a luxury brand is definitely something that I've been building, and I had started it with Beverly Hills Publishing, and the way that I choose my brand and my colors and my design. But you have really solidified it as a philosophy of not something that's out of touch or out of reach, or I need to have $100 million marketing budget in order to attract this kind of client. But would you explain how, if the viewer wants to really start to expand their branding to go more towards the luxury market, what tips could you give them?
Absolutely. And everything that we do is based on a luxury business model. It's my favorite business model for so many reasons. But the core premise, or the core reason why this is so important to me, is I had a very large volume-based business, and a lot of my clients have had a similar story where, and I know you have this story too, millions of followers. I had hundreds of thousands of clients, and, wrote the books and did all of those lovely things. It was fun. It was really fun in my 20s and 30s. But in my 40s, I wanted to create a legacy business. I wanted to shape things in a way that I wanted to actually get a proper impact and do it really well and I wanted to provide exquisite service to my clients, and I wanted to build a team around me and pick and choose the people that I worked with. And I wanted to get paid well for it because I'm good at what I do. And so what I did was quite a lot of studying of the luxury business model. I looked at the ways that a luxury business sets themselves up. And what occurred to me so clearly was that it's the complete antithesis of a mainstream business. So a normal business, your normal mainstream business that you'll learn about in college, or if you go do your MBA, or if you work with a normal business strategist or marketing agency, what they'll tell you to do is to start small, test out the market, and then incrementally move your way up. Now, there's nothing wrong with that way of doing business, and it's fine. For the vast majority of entrepreneurs and business owners in the world and experts, that's fine. There's great people who specialize in mainstream marketing and mainstream branding and finding you a big market, running your business that way. However, if you are looking for a way of doing business that's far more elegant, it's less noisy, it doesn't involve you sharing your breakfast, lunch, and dinner on social media every day of the week, and you want to do things in a way that's highly impactful, then taking the learnings from a luxury business will give you that outcome. And the things that we now teach, what I call the laws of luxury, to our clients, and we specialize in applying what a luxury business model would, the best of a luxury business model for a business like a Chanel or a Gucci or a Maserati or a Rolex. What we've done is we've taken the best of the way that they do business, and we've come up with a system that we can now apply to a service-based business, an expert, a speaker, an author, etc., or a personal brand. And really what the core premise of it is, Andrea, is you start at the top. Because if you do have the expertise that you were talking about in the introduction, if you've got that authority sitting there, you've got the expertise sitting there, you've got all of those, you've got the credentials, you've got the clients, you've got the case studies, you've got this knowing that you're very good at what you do, you've got the integrity to know that you're going to deliver on anything that you say, why start at the bottom? Instead, start at the top, get paid really well, create what we call 100. We always start with a 100K offer with our clients. We've got clients selling well into the many hundreds of thousands with one offer. That's not per year. These are multi-million-dollar businesses that they're creating, but they're only dealing with a handful of clients and they're serving them incredibly well. And what this does is when you start at the top and you create a exquisite service and you deliver at the highest possible level, and you're working with people to whom that investment isn't eye-watering, then when they're paying you $100,000, $350,000 or $1 million for you to do your thing that you do so well, what that does is it allows you to pick and choose the clients that you work with. It allows you to create natural urgency and scarcity in the work that you're doing. So, even in a mainstream model, people will tell you create urgency, create scarcity. You create that by gating yourself off. You can't have more than a handful of clients at that level. But then when you've created the authority by working with these ideal clients that you've literally picked and chosen to work with, then you can create leveraged offers, and you create exquisite, extraordinary, high resonating, highly impactful, more mainstream offers by starting at the top, building your authority, and then leveraging that authority to get the range of impact off the back of that. And if you look at a Chanel model, that's exactly what they did. Start at the top, work with a great few, have the money, have the authority and the power, and then create their boutiques, and then go into the cosmetics and the handbags, etc., etc. That model suits a an extraordinary entrepreneur. And I'm so excited to be bringing that to the market and helping people to see that come to fruition.
Custom offer and a custom business to serve their needs. They're actually overlooked, and everybody's competing at the lower ends of the market. So I am just so grateful that I have had that shift in consciousness and awareness. And I just got off a call before this interview with someone who has raised over $1 billion in capital. And we're talking not because he couldn't work with any other publisher, but because no one else is aligned with him and to serve him at the level that he needs to be served. And we both had this feeling of like, wow, it's a divine cosmic connection that brought us together. So I just want to give that to the viewer, that if you can make that shift in you, you will find that other people will be grateful that you are raising your offer, raising your value, and even considering yourself a luxury brand. Well, we could go on and on and on about this, but I want to move into a special part of the TV show. And this is where I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. So I want you to answer.
I'm excited.
Yes. You never know what's going to come. So just without thinking about it too much, whenever I ask you a question, just answer the first thing that comes up. Okay. So here is your first question. Mm-hmm. So Kathryn, what is your star authority power?
It is helping people to bravely sell at the highest possible level, sell $1 million offers.
Boom. That is such an incredible gift for many of the reasons we've already talked about. But I will say that when you raise your value, other people find you more valuable and special. It's so important. Okay, next question. What book has had the most influence on your life?
Oh, wow. So many. Yours recently, I shared this with you when we caught up very recently. There were so many mic drop moments in your book. I read it with, every moment of it was fun. Your story about the Wheel of Fortune, I think, will stay with me forever, and I will continue to reiterate it to people. The way, your book is just extraordinary. I love it, and that will absolutely impact my life forever. One of the more classics, probably The War of Art, is one of my favorites. I feel like that, just that idea of resistance and why we experience resistance when we have this, this very powerful knowing inside of us that we've got to get this out. So I think probably that one, but there's many.
Wow, I'm so honored to be included in the top books of all that has ever influenced you. That's truly, wow. That's a very special moment for me. And thank you.
Well, I say it truthfully. It's such a great book. I highly recommend everyone reads it. It's beautifully written. There's great stories in there, and it's really inspiring.
Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, I can die now. Thank you, Kathryn. Wow. Okay, next question. Oh, hold on. My computer just did something funny. Okay, there we go. Okay, next question. What was your very first job?
Oh my goodness gracious. Well, so my family is split into teachers, on one side teachers and artists, and on the other side entrepreneurs and business owners. And so I was lucky enough to have, my grandfather had a furniture and carpet and curtain business, and my dad had a wholesale hospitality business. So I used to spend quite a bit of time helping them. I remember one of my fondest memories was in my pop's shop, laying out all of the merchandising. I think I've got a bit of the artist in me for sure from mum's side, but all the, the merchandising and setting everything up so that it looked beautiful in the furniture displays. And in my dad's shop, doing the napkin folding and again, the more merchandising side of it. Gosh, it's no wonder I ended up in branding and marketing, is it?
You've been doing it your entire life, see?
I have. Crazy.
Wonderful. Amazing. Okay, next question. This is going to be a fun one. If you could have any actress play you in a movie, who would it be?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know.
Come on, Kathryn. It's so obvious to everybody else.
Oh, really? I don't.
Who? You don't know? Nicole Kidman. Duh.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. Yes, I can see that. I'll go with that. Yeah. I'd love Nick to do that.
But there you go. I call her Nick. See, you're close like that. Yeah. Yes, you totally have that vibe, the Nicole Kidman vibe, and the accent, of course, as well.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm flattered. I really am. She's divine and very, very, very smart lady. So, yes, why not? Let's go with that. Yeah. That sounds great.
There you go. Okay, I softballed that one for you. I let you off the hook a little too easy. So, next question. What subject were you best at in school?
Well, I mean, without question, English, without question. So, yeah, English, history, music, anything that was creative or, English for sure. Yeah.
Amazing. And of course, communication, marketing, branding, it's all communication. And your strategy of how you can connect and communicate with people, and they have that instant connection as though, oh my gosh, I know who you are and I feel who you are to the very depth of your soul. So it sounds like communication has always been a deep interest for you. It has been for me as well.
Yeah, I was that nerdy debating kid. I was that kid that did all of the, went traveling on the debating team and all of those things. But I also really, really loved reading and words and writing, and as well as speaking. So I think, like you say, it's probably no wonder I've ended up with it in a communication role, that's for sure.
Yeah, I was the kid. I always got in trouble for talking too much.
Loquacious.
And I'm like, well, it kind of worked out for me, so it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. You want that on your school report, don't you? The word loquacious. I remember having to ask Mum what that meant, and she was laughing at me. Means you talk too much, girl. Stop it.
Well, who's laughing now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, next question. Speaking of talking, what is your favorite subject to talk about?
Look, very simply. I mean, if I'm talking to a business audience, or it's always about luxury brands. As far as luxury brands and selling at the most brave level, bringing your expertise to life in a way that manifests in premium and ultra premium offers, and how to use that luxury business model. I mean, if I'm talking to my kids, it's a lot more simple, or my family or my girlfriends. It's pretty simple stuff. It would be, what did they do at school today, and what's happening with sport, and those sorts of things. So I'm pretty simple girl. That's for sure.
Aww, that's sweet. Again, it's that dichotomy, that contrast, that gives gives you so much balance, I think, because you can go to those higher end philosophical conversations, but then there's also never a day that you don't comment on my fresh flowers and what kind of flowers I have. And that groundedness is so beautiful.
Oh, that's important. Absolutely. So important. Yeah.
Okay, next question. You're doing so good at these.
Oh, good.
So what is the best place you've ever traveled?
Oh, that's hard. There's so many.
I didn't say these were going to be easy.
Oh, the best place that I've ever traveled. I love the States. I mean, my kids would say absolutely California. Any place in California, they just like pennies at me every 5 minutes to move to LA.
Well, you know, I love that
someday.
Yes.
For me, though, I did an exchange to Rome when I was 16, so that's got a bit of my heart. And my son, we even have Roman in his name. That's such an important place in the world for me. And I know you've got some stories there as well, which doesn't surprise me.
Yes, we need to go to Rome together, darling.
We do. And we lived in Tokyo for 4 years. And so and my kids did a lot of their growing up there. That's one of the most special places on the planet because of the people and how safe it is. And it's just, it's if you haven't been to Tokyo, put it on your bucket list. It's a beautiful place on earth as well. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you speak Japanese?
I don't, because I had the business back in Australia. I was traveling backwards and forwards, and so I didn't. I was one of those horrible people who, we were at the embassy, living in the embassy, and, the places around us all spoke English beautifully. So I was that person, unfortunately. But my husband speaks a little, and the kids went to preschool and school there. So they've got a few words as well, which is fun to bring out every once in a while.
Oh, that's precious. Japan is definitely on my bucket list. I want to go there. Yeah. Okay, next question. Imagine that you have an extra $1 million to give away. Who do you give it to?
I mean, this is easy. I would, well, actually, no. Now that I think about it, strategically, I would probably give it to someone who could make that $1 million into an infinite amount of money, and then have them give that to the things that matter most to me. So I think my mind went instantly to, I mean, the thing that matters most to me is animals. My heart is with protecting animals and looking after them. And so it would be, protection from endangered species, and it would be looking after animals that have been abused and those sorts of things. But strategically, if you gave that $1 million to someone who's really, really good at turning that money into something more, and then they could give more to the things that matter most, that'd be the right way to use that money, wouldn't it? Let's do it that way.
That is a brilliant strategy. I would never have even thought about that. And that's amazing, of course. Mm-hmm. And you give it to somebody who can turn it into infinite prosperity. What a phenomenal answer, Kathryn. I love that.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, last question. We could keep going on and on and on, but this is the last one. What's your secret indulgence?
Ooh, I don't think it's very secret. Wine. I love a really, really beautiful glass of cold wine. I live in a very, very hot place in the world, not just in Australia, but in Brisbane and Queensland, which is very tropical and a beautiful part of the world. And I'm very lucky to live here. But it's very, very hot and very humid, and there is nothing better than having an extraordinary day with my clients and achieving great things, like really, truly great things, and then sitting with my husband, watching my kids in the pool and having a beautiful, really, really crisp glass of white wine. That's just heaven. That's heaven. So I don't think that's very secret, but
That sounds amazing. I can't wait to be cheersing with you. My thing is champagne, so I like that. I like a really
Yes.
cold rosé champagne, or just even a regular champagne is amazing. And so there, we've talked about this several times. Too bad we can't. We're always on happy hour at way different time zones.
But we're going to make them align. We're going to make them align.
Well, we'll have lots of toasting whenever we do finally get together, because that's definitely my secret indulgence, which I don't make so secret either. Amazing. Well, you did so great with that. Thank you for the rapid fire answers. And it's no secret that I'm a huge fan of you and what you're up to. And just to conclude our interview portion of this episode, what do you want your legacy to be, Kathryn?
I would like my legacy to be that I was able to inspire extraordinary people to see their vision come to fruition. So for them to get out of that prison of excellence and have that knowing manifest in reality, and to create their own legacies. It's that ripple effect, Andrea. Much the same way we were just talking about the $1 million and then gifting that, to me, that's what I'm all about. I'm about creating this beautiful ripple effect of extraordinary people actually seeing the extraordinariness of themselves come to life, and the effect that can have on the world. I think there's infinite possibilities with what that can create. And I'd be pretty honored to even have just a small part in someone's legacy, that's for sure.
Well, I know that you have already had that ripple effect in me, my message, my vision, and my legacy. So it's already coming true. And I know you're going to continue to inspire people all around the world. So before we find out how to get in touch with you, how to find what you're up to, I know you've got so many free gifts to give away. What would you want the one action step for the viewer to take to start to live their greatest legacy and share their star authority with the world? What's your one big action step?
The one big action step is to stop dulling your brilliance, and they're tied together with the and. Accept it and own it and say it and admit it. And if you are terrified of doing that because the people around you are going to judge you or they're going to dull your brilliance, get yourself around people who can see that for you and who are going to support you to see that bigger vision that you have for yourself, who don't see that as arrogant or narcissistic, or, we call it in Australia the tall poppy syndrome. Get yourself out of that situation where you're surrounded by people who are going to dull you, and get yourself into a situation where you're with people who will see that brilliance and expand that brilliance for you. If you take that one step, then I think you're on your way to greatness, to true greatness.
That's amazing advice. Powerful, because that one shift will just accelerate. Everything will start to go up, 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 up. Incredible. So great. Now, Kathryn, how can we follow you? Do you have a free gift that the viewer can join and participate in? I bet you have some surprises for us.
What I would love you to do is head over to businessbravery.com, so businessbravery.com, and we've got so much over there. And I think it depends where you are in your journey. For a lot of you, you probably already know that you're destined for greatness and you're looking for some step-by-step action points to actually create this luxury business model. We've got a great masterclass there. For others of you who are just opening your eyes to this idea of, yes, I can sell at this 100K level, we've got other freebies and gifts over there that can really help you to open your eyes to those possibilities. So if you head to Business Bravery, we've got all sorts of amazing, it's like Christmas over there. It's Christmas, 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 every day of the year. We're giving amazing things away. And the purpose of that is to really open your eyes up to the possibilities of what you can create. And then if you want more than that, of course, you can connect with our team, and they'll really dig into your very specific circumstances and give you some great action points to get to those big goals.
Amazing. Well, I highly recommend you check out Kathryn, her work. I am a living testimony that continues to unfold and unravel. And Kathryn, thank you for being a super star authority guest on my TV show.
Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun. Those rapid fire questions were hilarious. I love that. Thank you. This has been great. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I know that this is not our last interaction together and co-creating and collaborating. And just personally, thank you for being such an amazing gift in my world.
Oh, right back at you. I just am so excited to see you build the momentum around you right now. I'm just watching this brilliance unfold and this huge and powerful light shine from you and on you. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with you, Andrea. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Well, if you don't have a Kathryn in your life, somebody who believes in you, your vision, and somebody who you can dare to be seen on the deepest levels, then I highly recommend you go and find one. Big love to you, Kathryn. So thank you for watching this TV show. Thank you for being on this journey, because it is about your star shining. Yes, there is something in you that needs to be shared. And if you are trying to deny it or pretend like it's not important or it doesn't matter, you think it might go away, but it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, trying to get your attention. And so that's why I want to encourage you to shine your light, to share your gifts. The world needs your message. It's your time to step into the spotlight and to become the true star authority you are meant to be. Thank you for being on this journey, and I will see you next time.